Hello, creeps. Welcome to Ask a Horrorpunk. I'm Vika Knox, aka Vika Vamp, and these charming cadavers are Dickie Devil in the Deviants, Nikky Casket of 5 Cent Freakshow, and David Phantom of Evelyn's Casket. How we doing today, boys?
Fan-fucking-tastic. Thank you. I'm jacked.
Reanimated. Ready to rock and roll.
Literally jacked.
So jacked. So jacked off right now.
Say jacked up or jacked off? Because
So
I have questions about
hold on.
mine.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a drinking game? I feel bad I don't have a drink.
Oh.
I don't really have a drink. I have like adult soda, White Claw. So.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
For Sippus von Hammerfuck of Seglock.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is a White Claw guy, isn't he?
He's a White Claw guy.
All right, guys. So we are essentially playing 20 questions with you guys today. We got a bunch of questions submitted from Facebook, internet, different groups. So let's get started and let's see how much of a wreck Nikky is by the end of this.
We'll see. We'll see.
So, from Jared Lord, what made you want to make horror-themed music instead of just regular punk?
I would say it's the Misfits for me. I idolize the fucking Misfits, as most of us do here, and I don't know. I connect with the horror music, and I love horror. I just love fucking creating stories and like retelling stories and it being horror. So that's but yeah, it all boils down to the Misfits. The Misfits kicked it off for me.
Yeah, same here. Misfits for me as well. Glenn and Misfits, Sam Hain. Love of horror movies growing up, and yeah, just taking that thrill of the scare and putting my own little spin on it was you know, a cool thing.
I would say it was an equal contribution between listening to the Misfits, Kiss, and Black Sabbath growing up, just because I've always really been drawn to dark and spooky and doom themed, just any kind of entertainment that follows under that. But as far as wanting to be like a musician, I definitely have to hand that to the Misfits, because just seeing like a lot of like, especially like the 90s live sets and whatnot, just like the level of attitude and theatrics that went into it, like cover themselves in blood and fucking, you know, big old buff dudes with strobe lights everywhere and fucking big giant coffins and bats everywhere. And then everyone just partying, having a great time. And like, they're still doing all that shit, but well, it appears they're not taking them seriously. But anyone who's been in a lawsuit with them knows they're kind of serious. But yeah, that's pretty much what it boiled down to. And yeah, I wasn't good enough to play Black Sabbath when it started, so.
I think a cool thing about the Misfits too is that they kind of show that you could play different types of punk and still be horror punk, where they had like the 50s stuff, and they had the more Earth AD hardcore stuff, and then they had their more you know, some of the more pop punky stuff through the 90s and 2000s. So you know, I think that was a big part of it too, for the Misfits to be able to kind of, you know, especially to kind of encompass all different almost genres and pull it all together under that horror banner.
Yeah,
it's so neat that you get people from like all ends of the punk scene, that the Misfits are that defining band for them, that they're like, this is the first thing that really got me into it. And it always amazes me that one band has been able to influence an entire genre, like the subgenres, so heavily, to the point where you have like the hardcore end of punk, you have horror punk on the other end, you have like the campy like rockabilly punk, and it all just comes back to that single root. It's wonderful. Well, speaking of the Misfits, next question comes from Kevin Free. How did you get into cosplaying the Misfits?
I'm sorry, one more time. What did he say?
Oh, how'd you guys get into cosplaying the Misfits?
Oh, well, you see, ever since I was a small boy, I wanted to be a big, tall, hunky asshole with eye makeup on.
Oh, me too, dude. Me too. Right here in my heart.
Yeah.
Is it the Dickie lock that gives it away? I don't know.
I'm gonna have to agree with David on that one, 100%.
You guys all just have like childhood boners for Jerry Only and fucking Glenn Danzig.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually have a Jerry Only story from when I was 14.
Oh wow.
hear it.
In 2009, they played Seattle, and I got to meet Jerry. And he actually told me to quit music and play football. So.
Oh.
Oh,
My teenage Jerry Only story is a little happier. I got a glove, and it still lives in a lunchbox somewhere and is very dear to my heart. Got one next from Jesse Zito, talking about, you know, we all love the Misfits. What would be your dream band to tour with, or your dream tour lineup?
Does this have to be living people or dead people? Can we
I mean,
have?
unless you know necromancy, I mean, you're the
We'll stick with
reanimated
living
Romeo.
so we
I
can
would not
keep it
be
limited.
surprised.
Hey man, it's horror punk. We're all dead, man. Ooh.
Yeah, good point. Well, for Dickie Devil and the Deviants, the Hex Girls would obviously be a really high up there band to tour with. Can we use them? Does that work?
Yeah, sure. I hear they need a new drummer first, but yeah.
Every band needs a new drummer.
Facts.
Well, obviously,
let's
I'm
see.
sure we'd all like to tour with. Well, maybe David wouldn't want to tour with Jerry because they'd talk football to him all the time. But you know, tour with the Misfits would be great. So let's just take them off the table, I'd say.
For me, 5 Cent, it would be Blitzkid. I think that would be the coolest fucking thing ever to tour with Blitzkid. Those guys are my idols, right up there with the fucking Misfits. Blitzkid's fucking awesome.
I am totally tied. As far as like an influential band I would love to tour with, I'm very tied between Blitzkid and Silent Horror. Ooh, he said it. Yeah, I did. But modern waves, I would love to tour, of course, with 5 Cent Freakshow. If we like had our pick, yeah, that's who we would hit the road with if we could. Just no questions asked, all expenses paid immediately, just make it happen. We would tour with 5 Cent Freakshow.
We will make that happen, man. I promise. We will make that fucking happen.
Yeah, please do, because that'd be a hell of a show.
Well, you'll get close enough at Slasher Fest, May 28th.
I can't wait. That's going to be so much fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten to play with. We've been lucky enough to play with both of these guys' bands before. Not tour.
Man, we gotta get 5 Cent Freakshow, Evelyn's Casket, the Writhers, and Dickie Devil all in the same bill one of these years.
Yes, dude, that would be fucking stacked. Hell yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah. Yeah, another band we love too, though, is the Memphis Murder Men. We'd love to do a tour with those guys. It's like, again, obviously the old school rock and roll kind of meshes with what we do a little bit. So yeah, love those guys. Love to get them.
Well, in this same vein, it's a nice segue into who's a horror punk band who you think deserves more recognition? Again, coming from Kevin Free.
The Writhers, for sure. Those kids work really hard as a unit. And like my just point to that is I'm sure both of you guys know there's usually just that one guy handling most of the hard stuff behind the scenes. But the whole band doing it, that's something to show for.
Yeah.
And of course, Silent Horror. I feel like, I don't know, I just find it weird when I like run into people who love horror punk who have never even heard of them. It blows my mind.
For me, I'm gonna have to go for Siblings of Samhain in the fucking UK. Those guys fucking rip. Super fucking awesome dudes, and they're just like their music is like on point. It's like right on my alley, and they're fucking awesome. I definitely think that more people need to fucking know about Siblings of Samhain. They're fucking awesome.
You're very correct. I actually really like those guys too. Oh, and Dark Ride. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dark Ride. Yeah.
Dark Ride's a good one. I think people will get to know Dark Ride soon, though, because they're newer. I don't know if you'd necessarily call them horror punk, but I love that. Speaking of Dark Ride.
Oh, Dusty's Psychobilly Band?
Yeah. That's, yeah, I love that. Their whole shtick with the kind of Kato black, Green Hornet masks kind of thing mixed in with the Batman imagery and
Mhm.
music stuff. Again, I'm a throwback guy, so Daddy-O's and Daddy-It. So yeah, I want to give love to some of these, the throwback bands.
Here we go. You're talking about Bat and their kind of unique aesthetic and vibe on stage. What makes each of you guys different from other horror punk
That's a good question.
bands?
Yeah, I
5
mean,
Cent Freak. Sorry, Dickie, you first, man. You first.
I mean, for me, it's a little easier because I know. I mean, obviously, we do a little more of the old '50s rock and roll, garage rock, pop punk kind of thing. So our whole shtick is more campy and more about dancing and having a good time. And of course, we pander to the ladies a little bit, the Daddyettes. And so yeah, a little different than your normal horror punk, blood and guts or heavier, harder kind of music.
Yeah, I don't know what really makes us different. We just try to be like as tight as we're capable of being, and like when I write the songs, I just take the things I love the most about all my favorite horror punk bands and try to make my new favorite horror punk song. I don't really know how to answer that. I don't even really think we're like super unique or anything. I think we just try, we just work hard.
For me, for 5 Cent, it would have to be the upright bass. That gets a lot of fucking attention and shit, and people love it. And a lot of times people consider us a rockabilly, psychobilly band. But we're pretty much just like, we're that basic 4-chord fucking horror punk just with an upright bass. And yeah, that's probably what would set 5 Cent Freakshow apart, is fucking Bilo and the upright bass.
We got the rockabilly thing too when we had Dicey on the stand-up drums. So I know,
Yeah,
I know how that goes. Everybody was like, "Yes, we're rockabilly band." We're like, "Oh no, we're like a Ramones kind of punk band," but okay.
How about what's your favorite gear to use from Jesse?
This is my pedal board. This is what I use. Is just this stuff right here. It's real basic. This is my distortion pedal, which is just a metal muff from Electro Harmonics. And then I have a B9 Electro Harmonics, which emulates my guitar tone into like really spooky church organs instead of guitar. And then I have a decimator and a tuner, and I will plug and play into any amp that works. I don't care. And I play a Ivan as Iceman with Seymour Duncan Black Winter pickups in it.
I got the decimator as well. My pedal board is just a couple pedals. I use a Ibanez Tube Screamer, TS9 is it? Yeah, and I got a reverb tank on there, a Caitlin Bread reverb tank on there, spring reverb tank, old school kind of wet surfy thing for when we kind of do the little surfy stuff. But I also play out of a Jet City head by Soldano, which is where I get a majority of my tone from. I play on a Hofner, very thin right now, but I just got word that my custom Hallmark C60 is ready and being shipped soon, so you'll see me with a new guitar very soon, fiends.
I love my Mesa triple rectifier. That thing's such a fucking beast. I have a Tube Screamer TS9, noise gate, just my basic tuner pedal, and I play through my fucking custom Tormentor, the Tormentor guitar. She's brand new, so I haven't got to play with her much live, but this thing's fucking awesome. EMG pickups by Exothermic Guitars. I highly recommend them. They're fucking awesome. And that's pretty much my shit. Basic.
Keep it simple.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Less can go wrong.
The less knobs, the better.
Right. John Mahoney would like to know, what's the song that made you want to play music?
Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Yes.
That's an easy one. I remember the first time I heard that shit.
Same. My mom is a big Black Sabbath fan, so like we always listened to vinyl from Black Sabbath when I was a kid.
Yeah, I got Black Sabbath Paranoid and Spawn, the movie, for Easter, and I never stopped listening to that record.
Yeah, I can't remember what the first song was, but for me it was the album. It was Kiss Alive 2. Just it's probably like Rock and Roll All Night, or God of Thunder was a big one. I loved God of Thunder. You know, I mean that whole album, like when I was a little kid, that was like blew my mind. So that was what made me want to do this thing.
Yeah, my first personal CD, like the first CD that was like my own property that I was gifted when I was real young, was Kiss Greatest Hits. So I fucking love Kiss. So feel you on that one.
For me, it would probably be Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train. I remember fucking wanting to play that on guitar, and I would be like playing for hours. I drove my fucking family crazy. They still to this day can't listen to Crazy Train because I fucking played like just over and over and over and over and over again. And that was probably, yeah, that Crazy Train and Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. But Ozzy was the fucking guy that kind of got me into the fucking music.
Man, I still can't play that song on guitar.
Me either, man.
Do another one from Jesse. Any advice for aspiring musician?
Well, we know what Jerry Only would say.
You guys can't say play football, and you can't say don't.
Yeah.
You know what?
I would say, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nikki.
No. That's all you go, man. You go for it, buddy.
All right. I would say learn how to be in tune, like learn how to tune your guitar and learn how to like tune your band together, which is essentially the same process. Learn to play to a click, and you need to learn chords or something to be able to identify pitch. That's the basics. And then if you're trying to break from your local band thing, I strongly believe an online presence is a must. And if you think that that's not cool, well, you're probably going to have a really hard time.
For me, it would probably be don't stop, don't quit. You know, make the songs that you want to make. You know, just like whatever sounds good to you, whatever you're feeling, fucking do that. And you know, just do what you love, and that'll show. You know, and just like keep at it. You know, and if you're doing makeup, like just fucking be you, do you, and do what you want to do. I know when 5 Cent started out, we got laughed out a bunch when we first started because we're rocking all the face paint and shit. And then after a while, we started to gain kind of respect because like these guys are fucking, they're just doing what they want to do. They don't fucking care. And that's kind of, you know, just we're being us, right? So just like don't quit and just fucking keep at it and you just do what you love. That's what my advice would be.
Fuck, that was way better than my advice.
You guys both gave great advice, so I will just like second what y'all said, and I will just add to it, and I will say, be professional, learn the business side. Want to be successful as a musician, you definitely need to learn and treat your band like a business, because you know, show up on time for gigs. Play your gigs. Don't get too shit-faced where you make an ass of yourself. This comes from hanging out with Ronan and being, you know, seeing how he promotes stuff. I get it. I hear it all the time. So it's drilled into my head. You know, that fucking guy. But along with that, also keep in mind you're an entertainer. So always be entertaining. And to quote, you know, wrestling, never break kayfabe.
Oh. And treat your band members well. Like, that's a big one. If your band's not happy, it has an expiration date.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. And your
Always
fans.
be nice to your sound guys.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. But it's not all about you when you're working in a band. You gotta take that attitude and throw it out the window.
Round 2, we're gonna focus more on horror movies, stuff like that. So we'll do one last one from Jesse. What's one horror movie you think should be more well known?
For me, it's Prince of Darkness by John Carpenter. Had Alice Cooper in there. Had the green, the vat with the green fluid in it. They had the chicks with the skin when they got turned, and the demons and the cockroach. Oh man, it's just such a great underrated, underappreciated movie. The whole thing with the future and the dreams and seeing the whole, and at the end you see it's it was just, I love that movie. I love John Carpenter, but I love that one in particular, and I think it does not get enough love. And of course, Alice Cooper.
Couldn't agree more. It's one of my secret favorites. I mean, my mom was knocked up with me on this tour, so it's in my blood whether I want it or not.
That's it. I gotta go Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I know it's got a cult following, but it should be fucking huge. That movie's just fucking awesome in every aspect. I love it. That's definitely hands down my answer.
Are we surprised that the guy from the clown themed band
Shocker, right?
picks Killer Clowns?
I don't know. I feel like my favorite horror movies are already pretty well known. Cause like, I don't know, be like either the first Pumpkinhead movie or Insidious. Those are like my two top horror movies. But they're already like, I feel really well known. So I don't know. And like I watch so much horror, it all really blurs together. It's really hard to just like pick one out. There's like 5 new ones every week.
Just talking about underrated horror movies, what's your go-to or your favorite horror movie, or like your comfort horror movie?
Insidious for sure. So,
I would have to go Army of Darkness.
Yes.
That's my fucking jam right there.
Bruce Campbell is one of my favorite people ever, so
Right?
fuck yes.
Same.
I'm gonna go with Monster Squad.
Nice.
Sucker for the Universal monsters, and Monster Squad takes me back to childhood. So being, that definitely gives me that comfort zone kind of warm and fuzzy feeling watching. Except at the end when Frankenstein goes into the portal and leaves Phoebe. That makes me, makes my mascara run a little.
What's your guilty pleasure song?
well, I
You
don't
guys
feel
singing in the
guilty.
shower when no one's around.
I don't feel guilty for any of the music I love, honestly. I'm pretty open about it. I listen to like all kinds of music. Like I listen to I have like dumbass anime theme songs that I just fucking love that I'll straight get down to. I love Paul Anka. Oh man, what's that one song where it's like, and every time we touch, I get this feeling. It's some like really like famous pop song. I like that one a lot too. Let's see. I am not ashamed of fucking with music. I love music in general. So I don't really have a guilty pleasure.
That's rad as hell.
For
Come
me,
on, who's got something embarrassing for me?
I mean, I don't know how embarrassing it is, but I love. So if you're familiar with the metal guitarist and like YouTube personality Leo Maracchioli, he does metal covers of pop songs, and like one of my all-time favorite, he covers "Hello" by Adele, and I just love like blasting it in the car and singing along and "Hello."
Fuck. For me, I would probably say there's a couple Skrillex songs that I can just I fuck with hard. I don't know. Yeah.
Just jamming out to Bangarang in their PJs when no one's around.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
Because he's doing all the mouth sounds and everything with the song.
Hey, I won't even lie, man. Some dubstep will just come on my recommended, and if I'm lifting weights, like that heavy bass blast that you can get from dubstep is
hell yeah.
pretty fucking motivating.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll stick with semi-embarrassing music things. Who's your favorite 90s or early 2000s boy band?
Probably Backstreet Boys, because like when I was a kid, Burger King was like giving out these cool like superhero Backstreet Boys toys, and I thought they were like cool as shit. They'd be like shooting, like one of them like shot a basketball that was like covered in fire, and I don't know, I guess that like helped sell their music to me, just like disguise them as superheroes.
Which one was JT in? That was probably, I guess that was probably my favorite.
Honestly, I have not gotten into any 90s boy bands. I know I might get crucified for that. I'm sorry, But I can't give an answer for that, unfortunately, because I haven't really gotten huge into that.
Does Canada have boy bands, or do they outlaw that?
I don't know, man. I don't even know.
They have moose bands.
See, there you go.
God.
Yeah, moose bands.
All right, Nikki, something I've always wanted to know. What sound do moose make? Because I know it's not the sound that's in my head.
Honestly, I don't really know. I saw a moose, and I was with my dad. We were on a hike, and when I was like a little kid, we saw this moose, and I wanted to go and pet this fucking thing for whatever reason. And I'm glad he grabbed me and fucking pulled me back. And because I've seen like videos of those things fucking charging full-size trucks.
Yeah, moose are scary big.
Oh yeah, they're insane. So I couldn't tell you about the sound that they make, but they're fucking beasts. Though they're huge.
Like in my head, they're like Pokemon, so they just make the sound moose, but like in a big, deep, flat moose voice. And I know there's not moose standing on top of Canadian mountains just going moose. Like it's not the sound they make. Dave was so offended that you don't listen to boy bands, Nikki, that he just left.
I was gonna say that's
either that or moose. He was offended by moose.
Or moose.
There he is. There he is. He's back. All right.
Hey.
You missed the moose talk.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what sound a moose makes?
Yeah. Do they have moose in Seattle? You guys have moose? Meese?
I don't know.
Mouse?
Yeah.
Moose?
Mooses?
Mooses?
They're like mountain lions and like
those are not moose.
Deer. I don't know if we have mooses. That's a good question. I mean, we're pretty close to Canada. I wouldn't be surprised. It's like the Pacific Northwest.
All right, more from Kevin, because he is just a wealth of gems. What unexpected song would you secretly love to cover?
Oh, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. I've always wanted to do like a pop punk cover of that song.
That would be so rad. Please do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're definitely not working on that right now.
Like my band's not working on a cover of Toxic. It's not happening.
Nice.
I think I'd like to do Give It To Me Baby by Rick James.
For me, I would have to say The Great Pretender by the Platters. That would be something that I would love to fucking cover. Doo-wop. That shit.
Can all of these happen? Because yes, every single one, yes. I would listen to the fuck out of all of those.
Hell yeah.
What band would you most like to collaborate with?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to do some stuff with Dickie Devil. I've done a ton of stuff with 5 Cent already, so I would definitely love to work with Dark Ride, Silent Horror, The Writhers. Yeah, this is an awful question to ask me. I'm just gonna sit here and name off so many bands.
You're like, I just want to play with everyone.
In Darker Days, we're about to hit the road on tour with my buddy Nick's band, Darker Days, and I really want to do a song with them. They're so fucking good. I would love to do a track with those guys.
I'd like to do something with the Jasons. We're buddies with those guys, so that would, of course, would be a great honor to either have one of them jump on with us or me jump on with them for something. That'd be pretty cool.
I'd be willing to sacrifice things for that. You just let me know to who.
I'll see if we can make it happen. I mean, we have a couple splits lined up with bands that we're excited to work with. I mean, The Galaxy Has Eyes, we're doing a split with, and we're actually, Kira is gonna sing a duet with me of a cover song. So, and I don't want to give it away because it's a surprise. But,
I hope it's what my brain just spit out, because yes.
Fuck, for me, definitely Evelyn's Casket and Dickie Devil. That's fucking high up on the list. I know we've worked together in the past, but it would be cool to do some more shit, obviously. But I would have to go with Blitz Kid on this one for sure, hands down. That would be also really fucking badass. Or Argyle Goolsby in particular. I think that'd be really cool.
Actually, I would love to do something with Goolsby too. That would be rad.
Yeah.
Let's all share some of our craziest tour or show stories.
We talk about Waffle House.
Oh, Waffle
Want to
House
talk
was
about
pretty fun.
Waffle House?
Yeah.
That was crazy, but it was quite the experience.
Man, they served me like 3 different people's food, and I ate that shit for sure.
No utensils anywhere to be found.
Rub it with your hands like
I'm not
gummy
gonna.
bears.
I'm probably the only one who came off great from that Waffle House experience. Like, I was not without anything that night. Well, I know as far as like a worst show experience, I know like we played this one show in Tacoma not too long ago where like the night ended with this dude like sneaking in through the back, and I won't like throw any names about the event. Like, it was a venue in Tacoma. I'm not gonna like mention the venue name or whatever because it all got handled the right way, all in the end of everything. But like, it all like essentially the guy like walked in to the back, like into the green room in the back, and everyone was like, "Who is this guy?" And he just looked real shifty, and he ran in the front. And apparently he'd been like thrown out of the bar during the show like 3 times already. And the freaking door guy was so fed up with him that he like held him down with a gun to his temple, and it was like the whole room got really tense. And then this other guy pulled out a gun, and it was just like, all right, this is like thankfully there's not like a bunch of people in the bar at this point because like doors are like closing, so there was only like the end of like the people being shoved out the door, and then us, and like, you know, we're all like fucking shit house because it's the end of the night. But yeah, that was a terrible experience. We got out of there really quick, that's for sure.
I had topped out. Yeah.
Oh man, actually I might have an even worse one than that. One time we drove 4 hours for a show just before we changed our name to Evelyn's Casket. We used to be called Cemetery Drive, but another band got signed to like a major label under the same name, so that was a no-brainer that we needed to change things. But yeah, some other band who wasn't even on the bill just showed up, and they ran on stage and played through our set time. And like, I was like talking to the booker about it, and apparently this particular booker and venue doesn't believe in paying for security because they didn't believe in violence. And they were essentially like, if you want to throw them off stage, you can do that, but we can't do anything about it. So we just didn't get to play that night. And we drove 4 hours for it. Probably the most angry I'd ever been at the end of a show for sure.
Off for a second. I guess I'll share the one from Slasher Fest last year when we had David was there too, and Stolen Wheelchairs was there, and we had a guy in a wheelchair in the audience, and all of a sudden some drunk guy came in and moved into the crowd and started like shaking his wheelchair, and at first he was talking to him like he was his friend. Do you remember this?
Oh, I think I might have been either running.
You guys, I think, were playing maybe, or either you got. No, I think it was what's his name was playing at the time. Actually, Stolen Wheelchairs was playing at the time. This was at the end of the show, and yeah, the guy came in and at first like he was talking to the guy in the wheelchair like he was his friend and joking and laughing, and then all of a sudden there was like a switch flipped and he was like shaking the wheelchair and like getting like in the guy's face, and then because we were watching Stolen Wheelchairs, but we were ready to jump in. Luckily, security was already on it, so the guys already came in. And by the time we realized that this wasn't his friend, this was an issue, this is a problem, the security guys were in there. So, but yeah, that was pretty wild. Like, how you gonna fuck with a dude in a wheelchair, man? Trying to watch Stolen Wheelchairs.
Okay, so 5 Cent Freak Show, we actually played a fucking retirement party. But we didn't know that. We were going to Revelstoke. We got fucking signed up for this fucking show. We're like, hell yeah, we're going, we're good. And we get there and we noticed that it's not really the typical crowd that we have. And it turns out it was a retirement party. So we looked at each other, we're like, oh, what the fuck did we get ourselves into, guys? And we, right before we get up on stage, someone comes up to us and they're like, can you just kind of like keep everything on the DL? Like, this is a retirement party. I was like, well, fucking, we only have one fucking speed. Like, like we will try. But yeah, and it turned out like everybody was out of their seats, and it was a fucking rad show. We had mosh pits and shit like that, so it was interesting to say the least. But everybody had a good time, and that's like the main thing, right? That's the main thing. That's all that counts.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
You know what? I think I misinterpreted the question and was just like my worst shows and not my craziest.
I know, it doesn't have to be the worst. It could just be like, holy shit, that happened.
So, like, as a musician or just specifically Evelyn's Casket?
Either one, whatever the better story is.
Okay, well, for Evelyn's Casket, definitely our craziest show was Slasher Fest, because we didn't really get a chance to play any big poppin' shows because we were still in lockdown by the time we'd like decided to make this like an up and coming, like a real band rather than just a local act kind of thing. But yeah, that was the first time I'd ever heard a crowd sing back lyrics that I had wrote myself. So that was like really special to me. And then at the end of our set, we played 2 Misfits covers, and we brought Dickie and the Ghoul Father and some fucking Ass Hat up on stage, and we played all that shit together like a big old happy family, and everyone loved it, and that shit was that was dope. I will remember that forever. And then, but as a musician, what?
I said I appreciated the invite.
Dude, every time, you're always welcome. Yeah, I love that shit. But as a musician, my craziest show had to have been playing as a co-headliner in my other band, Raw Dogs, with The Accused AD. And we played to like a sold out 300 cap venue, which was something I'd never experienced prior to that. So that was like really fucking cool. And the crowd was just going ape shit. We were all fucking just really in sync, and like we were going ham, and I don't know, I love like a bunch of like really cool pictures. I got to do a bunch of like cheesy rock star shit that night, even though I'm not a rock star. So that was fucking badass.
Let's move into some miscellaneous stuff. Chelsea King Wolven had asked, what's your comfort food?
Sushi. Ooh. For sure. Hands down sushi.
I thought you said blue cheese at first, and I was about to be like, not for nothing, that's foul. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Fuck. For me, it's anything chicken. Chicken is my fucking go-to comfort food. I love chicken.
Burgers. Love a good burger. A sucker for a burger. Good milkshake. Yeah. A burger.
That shit's how I'm going to end up at Nifty 50s when we're done here.
Man, Nikki, I thought for sure you were going to say Jack Daniel's soup, man.
Jack Daniel's as well. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Kevin has one final one and would like to know how long it takes to do your makeup.
Ooh, 3 hours for me. 3 hours pretty much on the fucking dot for my pain. I'm super OCD. I need both sides to be like fucking symmetrical. It's I could spend forever on my fucking makeup if I don't put a cap on and be like, all right, this is fucking all right. 3 hours was probably my answer for sure.
Dude, I feel you. Welcome to why I wear a mask on stage.
Hell yes.
I keep it simple.
Me. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry, brother.
No, go ahead. Mine's easy. I have little raccoon eyes, and probably takes me longer to get these contacts in than it takes me to do makeup.
It takes me, depending on if I do like the full white with all the blood thing, that takes me like 30 minutes. But like usually if I like this just takes me like 15 minutes. Like most of my makeup is just blending stuff, so it's really easy to do quickly.
And adjacent to the makeup question, Dickie, this one specifically is for you. Paul Mald would like to know, why do you feel it's okay to appropriate panda culture?
Well, sir,
think of the pandas.
I identify as part panda. My
which part?
Well, it's not in frame. Let's put it that way.
Oh, you got the panda feet? I'm very sorry.
It's the little nubby tail. It's the little fuzzy little. You can't see it on camera. It's that cute little nubby fuzzy. I got one. It's back there.
Oh
But,
God.
but I feel that we are appropriately representing panda culture as we, spread the panda awareness through our spooky shenanigans.
Is that a subculture of the bear culture?
Spooky bears.
Oh my God.
Bears in fiend paint.
It's funny. I remember back in middle school when we would like wear spooky makeup and shit. Our fucking friends' parents used to tell us we all looked like little pandas. So that's fucking hilarious.
I think every single one of us at some point has like a picture of being like 14 and just has the unfortunate panda makeup.
Yeah.
And just looks so proud of it. All right, we are down to one final one. Any fans you want to give a shout out to?
Oh man, Kevin Free for sure.
Yeah, Kevin.
Single-handedly guiding this gem.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna butcher some last names. Kevin Corville, and Anna. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she knows who she is.
Anna O.
Yep, yeah, and then
Ghoulfather.
Yeah, dude, yeah, of course.
Shout out to Ghoulfather.
Yeah, 100% him. Yeah, like he should have been the first one I said. They know who they are. I appreciate all of you. All of you know who you are. You are always hyping up my shitty music, and you make me feel like someone I'm not. And I appreciate all of you.
Yeah. Sure. Special
David
shout out to. Go ahead, Nikki. Do it up.
I was just gonna say David hit a lot of the people that I wanted to give a shout out to. John Mahoney from the UK, Brent from fucking New Zealand. Oh shit, Anthony Noble. All of you guys, pretty much like as David said, I don't want to fucking plagiarize or anything, but yeah, he fucking hit the nail on the head. We appreciate y'all so much, and you make this so much more awesome for all of us, and I couldn't imagine my life without you guys. So I really appreciate all y'all's support and everything you do for all of us in the horror punk community.
Yeah, I mean, all those you guys already took so many names. All the fear leaders, Death Infection, of course, shout out. Let's see, Anna Alvarez, I know, is very supportive of us, particularly Dickie Devil. Kitty Ferran in, I think, Australia. I think Kitty's in Australia. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. Who else? Yeah, Jesse Zito, Jesse Dickie Jr. As you saw last Halloween, so that was very cool. It was an honor to have Daddy-O Jesse dress up as as me for Halloween. I mean, yeah, you guys covered most of them, and I know I'm forgetting people. We love all our Daddy-Os and Daddyettes and fam and fiends and all you guys that come out. All our local people. Tom Haas here in Philly, and Sid and Brian Ewers, everybody that comes out to the Bar 13 shows, all our Deadsville people. A special shout out to Kane Hodder, our new Doggy Deviant voice. So we're stoked on that, and I guess I'll end it there because how do you top Kane Hodder?
Don't.
But yeah, we love everybody, man. Everybody that supports the whole scene, all the bands, all these guys, everybody else. You know, it's great that we get to do what we do, like Nikki said, and people love and support this. And we got people flying in from overseas for Slasher Fest this year, from all over the world, and it's just really cool feeling that you know, that these people are coming together to kind of see us do what we do. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, we got 4 minutes to go, so unless there's anything else you guys want to say, we will wrap it up.
Keep an eye out for Evelyn's Casket's new full-length album, Zero Mortal Plan. It'll be out before we go on tour in late May into June. Nikki is on like 95% of that album, along with a lot of other really badass guest musicians. Nothing but talented people on this record. And yeah, I mean, like this the horror punk community is gonna fucking love this record, I promise. We got a lot of faces involved. There's gonna be a lot of surprises you guys weren't expecting.
We may be freaks, but we are not alone. That's my final fucking line for right now, guys.
So Dickie Devil and the Deviants are currently, we wrapped up recording another quick EP. We released our track Died and Went to High School. It's out now, streaming everywhere. We're about to drop a cover of Do You Want to Dance with a little spooky twist. That'll be coming out early this month now, because the 30th, right? Actually right now. Who knows when this will air, but it might be out by the time this airs. Who knows? But we have some more recordings going on, music videos, of course, and the 3 episodes with Kane Hodder of Deadsville Rock and Roll Mysteries coming very soon. We might have some guest appearances. We might have to see about getting these guys on some cameos somehow. And Vika Vamp will be joining us as one of our lovely new fear leaders. Plus lots of shows coming up as well, including Slasher Fest with these fucking rad dudes here. So looking forward to it all and seeing lots of familiar and hopefully new faces.
All right, well then that is it for today, creeps. Don't forget to take a second to like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss one single second of DVTV, and we will see you next time.
Hey!